Ooby-doo, it's everyone's favorite boomer and vintage lens enthusiast. Today we're going to be looking at the Canon zoom lens FD 35-70 1.4. This is the NFD type mount. It doesn't have a silver ring. You have to twist the whole barrel. So let's say I got it in lock position. I don't know if you can see the diaphragm in there. That's F22. Oh, it's opening up, see? F4. Let's do the zoom ring thing. See how the aperture ring opens up? So that's how they get a constant aperture. The design has a variable aperture, but they have a cam that works in tandem with the zoom range that shuts and opens up the aperture and keeps it f4. But that means everything stays the same throughout the whole zoom range. I got it in like excellent condition, and I was very pleased when I got it. It looked brand new. Brand new, the optics are clean. So I wanted to go to the Lead East car show, which is over Labor Day weekend. And I went to a Nikon Z and an AF Nikkor 18-35 zoom. And then I took this in my gadget bag to, just take some pictures and see how this reacts. Now, I just got this lens. I never used it. So I noticed when I was focusing and zooming, sometimes at 70, I would say there's only a little bit of backlash there. I was having trouble focusing, like it was really bad. So I went through it and I said, is this a crap lens? I don't know. So when I came home, I threw it on another camera, Sony a5000, and I went to the park. And then as it turned the ring, I felt it was grungy. And then what I had to do is you had to play with it and get to 70, and then it would focus perfectly, like something was floating on the inside. So should I have returned it? Well, I don't know. It's in perfect cosmetic condition. It's just some minor scuffs. And this is a metal construction, believe it or not. This barrel is metal, this barrel is metal. I think there's a lot of metal in this lens. And it's a little hefty. Now I have the 35-70 3.5 to 4.5, which is smaller and lightweight and mostly plastic. And I just wanted to see if this was a better lens. Actually, it is. Once I realized that there's some problem with this zoom, and I gotta be careful that if I can't focus good, I just have to fill it in and it comes in. How long will it last? I don't know. For $100, well, it seems in excellent condition. Otherwise, super clean optics, and that's why I decided to keep it. And it does take good pictures. Once that problem was solved, it takes excellent pictures. So I went to Lead East, and I was satisfied with a lot of pictures, and when it did focus right, it focused perfectly. But I had to unsharp mask a lot of pictures you're going to see in a slideshow. And that's why you won't see a lot of B pictures where I zoomed up on something, because they're just ever so slightly soft. Now, maybe it was also because I didn't have the lock all the way, and the aperture was a little open. Maybe I was shooting at f5.6, I don't know. That's the goofy thing with FD mounts. You got this lock and open thing. Like if you put it this way, it's open and the aperture won't stop down. So if you only go halfway, you got to really make sure you're all the way over to make sure you're stopping down. And then you pretty much have to verify that when you go to it shuts down to f22 and opens up. See, it's opening up a little bit there. So at least I know that works, and it's something else I got to keep attention to, along with the zoom business. Here, I'll show you. I've never seen a zoom lens do that, so there's something loose inside. Now I took this rubber band off. That is the zoom ring texture band, and there's 3 holes equally spaced in this zoom ring, and underneath those 3 holes there are 3 screws, and I tightened them up a little bit, but it did nothing. So I don't know if this is a common problem with this lens, but I like it. It works good, so I'm going to put up with it rather than send it back. And all the rest look, they're, good, very good, or ugly. So they got that going against them. This has a totally different look than the Z50 and the 18 to 35 because, for one thing, the maximum zoom on that starts at the minimum zoom on this. On a crop sensor, that's like 52 millimeters. That's like 75 millimeters. And that's like 105 millimeters, equivalent on a full frame. So, and it had a totally different look. It had a Canon look and I guess a Canon lens. But when it focused really good. And like I said, when I used another camera and I went to the park, I got much better results, which we'll see in a later video. But I like the Canon EOS M50 Mark II, except there's one caveat with that. Let's see what I got in here. It freaks out a little bit with Watson batteries. Like it'll randomly hang up. You'll have to eject the battery and then put it back in. It doesn't do that with Canon batteries, only with Watson batteries. So that's something you may want to be aware of. You know, Watson batteries they're cheap, and Canon batteries you pay a premium for them. But I mean, if you don't want your camera to hang up at some critical moment, then you might want to invest in more Canon batteries. So the proof is in the pudding. We'll look at these pictures, and then you decide. All right. I didn't do a casual test before I went out and on a photo shoot, and I sort of got stuck. So the thing is, if you jiggle this forward, you're going to have a hard time focusing. You got to make sure it's back like this and it works good. On my copy. So let's just look at the pictures, and you can always review the Z50 and the 18 to 35 zoom and compare them. And sure, they're different, but they're the same. It's not a bad lens. I think it's a good lens. You just have to make sure you get a good copy. But, you know, all the lenses I see, they all have this backlash in the focusing ring. Every one. I have some that are very little, but most of them are like that. So let's just jump right into some pictures and check it out. Leedy's Car Show. It's like the biggest car show that I know. It's close by. There's one called Dead Man's Curve, which is about the same, but they moved like an extra hour away from where I live, so I don't go to them anymore. This lens had an issue with the zoom ring where the element is loose or something, and if it's in the wrong spot, I get pretty bad results. Of course, at the time I didn't know it. I only figured it out afterwards. But I managed to limp along through this photo shoot. Luckily, I bought another camera, and that one behaved excellently. But barring that, it still took really good pictures when it did work right. As you can see here, of course, it has a totally different look. This 35mm 70, so it has a more rectilinear look to it, whereas the 18 to 35 had a wide angle look to it. That's the AF Nikkor that I shot previous to this. But if you look at these pictures as standalone, like here, look, this is a zoomed up portion of that frame, and that's nice and sharp and clear. And I was just like zooming up on the chrome a lot because, you know, they had some rain spots and some dirt because from the leaves were falling down a little bit. But aside from that, the chrome was like immaculate. And it was like a funhouse mirror, Carnival funhouse mirrors. And those are my self-portraits in a lot of them. So I'm going to keep this lens. I'll just deal with it, see how long it lasts. Yeah, I mean, the amount I use it, it could probably last me the rest of my life. I'm a little upset that I got like a, so we should say, less than perfect example, But it looks really clean on the outside and on the inside, which is very important. And now that I figure out how to use it and how to verify that everything's in the right spot, well, it does take really nice, sharp pictures. And there's no distortion throughout the whole range that I could see. Very minimal. Of course, the Canon M50 Mark II has a Canon look, but they improved it. You know, shooting at 400, I mean, the images were perfect. This guy has made a custom car out of a whole bunch of different car parts, and it looks like a rocket ship. There's a lot of these old chromes with these bumpers, man. It's what were they thinking back in the 50s and 60s? I don't know. I guess it all sort of got to look like missiles and spaceships. And here's this custom car. I don't know how many different car parts he finagled together, but he did a whole bunch. The lighting was perfect, I think, because it was like cloudy bright to overcast, and the shadows and were only right under the very bottom of the cars. And the highlights, well, there's no harsh contrasts. There is no large range of brightness to darkness. Of course, there's no glinty chrome and all that stuff, but you know, that's why you go to different car shows. There's always different lighting. Things are always different. This is a decal Woody. I remember they had real Woodies, and then they went to a decal Woody look. Now look at all the amazing colors. These were not stock colors. These must be all custom jobs. Of course, the flames are still, you know, a big motif at car shows. Blazer, get it? It's a blazer. But some people hanging out at the car show. Check out this, his headlamp housing. Look at that. More funhouse mirror headlamp effects. What was this, a Crown Victoria? I forget what emblem that was for. Chrome everywhere, chrome, chrome, chrome. You just don't see chrome anymore, right? And then you miss all these weird, you know, reflections in the chrome. So the lens was really good between 35 and 70. Very rectilinear. Excellent. You know, I like the look, so I'm going to use this lens more now that I know how to use it. I'm going to only stopped on the f8, but on bright sunny days I'm definitely going to use 11 and 16 to get some more depth of field. So if you want to buy this lens, which is the Canon FD Zoom 35 to 70 constant f4 aperture, you got to make sure that there's no troubles with the focusing ring. And they're around the $100, and I think they're worth it. It focuses down to 0.5 meters, so at 70 millimeters you can get some tight close-ups. There was no switch or anything. It just, you know, the focusing ring went down to that 0.5 meters, and that was it. So there's no slick tricks to get like quote-unquote macro. I wish it focused us a little bit closer, but you gotta take what you can get with these old lenses. I was able to focus to infinity with it, so that's good too. It seemed to stop down all the way. I always look at the aperture and run it through the click stop to see if it goes down to f22, which it did. All these cars, all these old cars, and they say the newer generations are not into them. They're into more newer cars. But you know, I didn't see too many foreign cars there, and I didn't see too many newer cars there either. This is like mostly like an oldies show, really. Like a lot of car shows, they have an amalgam of new, old, domestic, and foreign. And it was pricey to get in. $20 to get in, $15 to park. I think it was worth it.